So ngayon pag-uusapan natin yung life ng isang most influential English philosopher noong 19th century na si John Stuart Mill. Pinanganak siya noong May 20, 1806 sa Pentonville, which is a north town sa London. Isa siyang disciple ni Jeremy Bentham na friend at prominent ally ng father niya na si James Mill. So he was schooled by his father, starting with Greek at the age of 3 and Latin at age of 8. Had absorbed most of the classical canon by the age of 12, along with algebra, Euclid, and the major Scottish and English historians. In his early teenage years, he studied political economy, logic, and calculus, utilizing his spare time to digest treatises on an experimental science as an amusement. At the age of 15, upon returning a year-long trip to France, kung saan din yun na yung tinatawag niyang home, nagsimula siyang mag-work ng major treatise sa philosophy, psychology, and government, kung saan naging secretary at saka research assistant din siya ng father niya. So at the age of 21, nagsuffer si Mill sa nervous breakdown which nag-lead sa mental depression. Dahil yon sa authority ng father niya na nagkaroon ng very hectic and monotonous life si Mill. So nag-recover siya din sa mental depression niya by reading poetries of Wordsworth, which he valued. And his new interest quickly led him to the work of Coleridge, Carlyle, and Gortsby. Si Harry, doon siya nilibing sa Avignon kung saan bumili rin doon ng bahay si Mill para malapit lang yung cemetery doon sa kanya. And after Harry's death, nagtuloy-tuloy lang naman yung buhay ni Mill and nag-work lang siya for almost 35 years. After nun, namatay na rin siya by May 7, 1873, katabi doon sa wife niya na si Harry Taylor.
Utilitarianism is a topic that's gonna be expounded and learned. A brief information about Mill's philosophy is that he started looking at his father and Bentham's philosophy of utilitarianism critically. Ibig sabihin, binase niya utilitarianism sa gawa ng father niya at kay Bentham. Mill's modification of Bentham's utilitarianism. Sinabi ni Mill na ang basic claim or ang ibig sabihin nito para sa kanya ay action which produces pleasures and avoids pain is morally good. Nataliwas sa kung anong pagpaliwanag ni Bentham dito. Dahil kay Bentham, ang utilitarianism ay all pleasures are quantitatively equal. Ibig sabihin, para kay Mill, para sa kanya, kailangan pag napoproduce na yung pleasure, wala siyang nasasaktang iba. For example, para kay Mill, kunwari, ang gusto ng magulang mo na magloka, pero ang gusto mo, engineering. Pero dahil nga susundin mo yung utilitarianism ni Mill, ang susundin mo ay yung magulang mo para hindi sila masaktan. Pero kay Bentham naman, Susundin mo kung ano yung gusto mo dahil yun yung pleasure mo, na kahit na masaktan ng magulang mo ay okay lang dahil ang sabi na nga, all pleasures are quantitatively equal. For John Stuart Mill, poetry is better than pushpins. Bentham holds the above to be true. All that is good is the greatest pleasure, is the one with the greatest intensity. Don't be a snob is what he is saying. The greatest amount of pleasure is what it's come to down to. Mill has the antithesis. He is more like Brandt in that he can order his pleasures. He would say that the poetry is better than pushpins. He lays against Bentham that his system does not take into account the power of a single pleasure against 1,000 smaller pleasure. One side is pushpins or quantity, the other is poetry or quantity. Ibig sabihin, para sa kanya, mas mahalaga yung quality kaysa sa quantity. Kahit tayo naman sa sarili natin, di ba mas tinitignan natin yung quality bago tayo bumili ng marami. Ibig sabihin, pag hindi maganda yung quality or kailangan lang natin ito, mas bibili lang tayo ng konti. Pero kung maganda yung quality at kailangan talaga natin to, madadagdagan yung quantity na kailangan natin. Kaya sinabi niyang mas maganda na piliin ang poetry or mas maganda ang poetry kaysa sa pushpins dahil ang poetry para sa kanya ay quality at ang pushpins naman ay quantity.
Is it better to be human being dissatisfied than a pig being satisfied? It is better to be Socrates being dissatisfied than a fool being satisfied. Ibig sabihin, okay nang maging tayo na hindi tayo nasa-satisfy sa kung anong meron tayo, kaysa naman maging baboy tayo pero satisfied tayo. Walang may pakit sa ikaw bilang baboy dahil isa lang naman itong hayop. At madalas ay ginagamit lang ito upang sa pagkain ng nakararami sa atin. Okay nang maging si Socrates na dissatisfied kaysa naman maging isang tanga na hindi na-satisfied. Si Socrates isang matalino na philosopher. Okay lang na maging dissatisfied siya, pero marami siyang alam na knowledge. Kaysa naman isang tanga pero nasasatisfy lahat ng gusto mo. Mas okay na mas piliin yung mga bagay na tayo kaysa pumili ng mga bagay na hindi tayo, pero satisfied tayo.
Our topic for today is all about utilitarianism, philosophized by John Stuart. When we say utilitarianism, it is a theory in philosophy na nagsasaad na ang isang tamang aksyon ay ang isa sa nagpapalaki ng utilidad. Nakaraniwang nilarawan na nagpapalaki ng kasiyahan at nagpapalit ng pagdurusa. Ang teorya na ito ay pangunahing nagsasaad na ang isang aksyon ay makatwiran kung nagdadala ng pinakamaraming halaga ng kaligayahan para sa pinakamaraming tao. Ang pinaka-impluwensya ng tagapag-ambag nito ay sina Jeremy Bentham at John Stuart Mill. Utilitarianism is a moral theory that advocates actions to promote overall happiness or pleasure and rejects actions that cause unhappiness or harm. A utilitarian philosophy, when directed to making social, economic, or political decisions, aims for a betterment of society. The greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people is a maxim of utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is like hedonism. It has an importance of happiness for all humans as it core belief. Because utilitarianism is concerned with all of the consequences that result from an action. The good consequences must be measured up to the bad consequences. And if the good attain, then the person should pursue that action.
Mill's liberty principle, also known as the harm principle, is the idea that each individual has the right to act as he or she wants, as long as these actions do not harm others. May karapatan tayong kumilos ng gusto natin, ngunit dapat yung kilos natin ay hindi nakakasama sa ibang tao. Halimbawa na lang, kapag inutusan tayo ng kaklase natin na gawin yung assignment niya, tama ba na gawin natin yung assignment niya? Ano yung magiging consequence ng gagawin mong action? Tinutulungan ba natin siya sa utos niya sa atin? In terms of what a free society seeks to accomplish, liberty is 5 freedom for each individual. First, freedom to come and go. Second, equality and justice before the law. Third, security and property. Fourth, freedom of speech. And last, freedom of conscience. There are 2 limits of liberty. First, other regarding action. Second, self-regarding action. Other regarding action. Action which directly affect to other individuals. Self-regarding action which directly affect only the individuals performing the action. On Liberty is one of the Mill's famous works and remains the most read today. It is within the context of this form government that Mill envisions the growth and development of liberty. On this chapter 1 defines civil liberty as the limit that must be set on society's power over each individual. John Stuart Mill articulated this principle in On Liberty, where he argued that the only purpose for each power can be rightfully exercised over a member of civilized community against his will is to prevent the harm to others. Yung pinaka-point ni Mill sa liberty is to prevent harm to others.
So the topic that I will discuss is about the freedom of expression, which philosophized by John Stuart Mill. So Mill outlines the benefits of searching for and discovering the truth as a way to further knowledge. He argued that even if an opinion is false, the truth can be better understood by refuting the error. And most opinions are neither completely true nor completely false. He points out that allowing free expression allows the airing of competing views as a way to preserve partial truth in various opinions. These freedoms, which are freedom of thoughts and freedom of expressions, are distinct because while thought is without exception self-regarding expression of one's thoughts, clearly he has consequences for other people. It is possible, therefore, that expression could cause harm to others and in such cases could legitimately be regulated by society. However, yung freedom of expression kasi, it is a being almost as of much importance as the liberty of thought itself and resting in great part on the same reasons. It is practically inseparable from freedom of thought. And so, in his discussion, Mill argues for both together. This state may only interfere with people holding and expressing their views if those views cause harm to other people. And even then, it would only interfere if doing so would be more beneficial than not doing so. So, there should be absolute freedom of opinion and sentiment on all subjects, practical or speculative, scientific, moral, or theological. So may mga arguments si Mill na nag-a-appeal sa value ng truth. It is truth and fallibility. Mill sums up his first argument like this. If any opinion is compelled to silence, that opinion may for aught we can certainly know be true. We are fallible, not just individuals, but also governments and societies. This argument from fallibility claims that we do not always know the truth about morality and religion, even when we think we do. We must make a distinction between certainty and the truth. Our confidence that some opinion is false cannot justify suppressing the expression of that view, as it implies not only that we are confident of being right, but that is because we are infallible. While freedom of thought is absolute, there may be restriction of freedom of expression, because expressions of opinion and feelings are actions that affect others, and therefore may also harm them.
Hello, I'm here to discuss representative government. John Stuart Mill favored about democracy. He believes that democracy people can exercise their moral and intellectual values by participating in politics. Si Mill ay mayroong advokasya na kung saan sa isang society ay maaari lamang makalahok dito kung ikaw ay mayroong mga pinag-aralan, rational at virtuous ka. Pinaglalaban ni Mill na ang representative government ay hindi kailangan ng legislation or law. Suggest din siya na kung saan ang mga representative government na lang ang magiging katawan upang mapangalagaan ang mga law o ang mga tao sa isang society. Sa perspective ni Mill, gaya ng sinabi ni Geraldine kanina, na mas pinipili ni Mill na piliin ang tama o ang gusto ng nakararami kaysa sa gusto niya na pangsarili lamang, kung saan ay tama rin naman.
Ang gampanin ng mga kababaihan noon ay manatili lamang sa bahay. Wala silang karapatang bumoto para sa kanilang lipunan. Mill argue about the equal rights for women, not only as a liberal but also as utilitarianism. Dahil nakapagbibigay ito ng kaligayahan para sa bawat isa. Ayon kay Stuart, ang pagiging malaya ay hindi lamang para sa kalalakihan, kundi para sa lahat at kasama rito ang mga kababaihan. Ayon kay John Stuart Mill, ang liberty, utilitarianism at gender equity ay magkakakonekta.
Hello, and the topic that I will discuss is all about the subjection of women. But before that, I will tell first the story of John Stuart Mill and her wife, Harriet Taylor. Noong 1830, nakilala ni John Stuart Mill si Harriet Taylor noong siya ay 22 years old. They did not marry until 1851 after Taylor's husband had died. Noong 1858, namatay si Harriet Taylor and after 10 years, sinulat ni John Stuart Mill ang Subjection of Women at inspired ito sa kanyang asawa. So, yung Subjection of Women is an essay by English philosopher and political economist by John Stuart Mill. He argued in favor of legal and social equality between men and women. He writes that the subordination of one sex to the other is wrong in itself, at ito pa ang nagiging dahilan upang ang isang tao ay hindi mag-grow as a person. Ang essay niya ay na-publish noong 1869. The legal status of women. Noong sinulat ni John Stuart Mill ang Subjection of Women, ang mga babae noon ay walang karapatang bumoto. Ang kasal na babae noon ay hindi pinahihintulutan makakuha o makihati sa pagmamay-ari nilang mag-asawa. Ang common justification for women's inferior legal status ay mas nakakataas ang lalaki kaysa sa babae at dapat nasa bahay lang ang mga babae. Mill argues that this is illogical dahil para sa kanya, there is no other situation in life which it is considered quite natural and suitable that the better should obey the worse. He supported women's right to vote, equal property rights to women. He added that men and women are equal in all their abilities, so there is no justification for discrimination. Mill's work have inspired many future feminist thinkers.
Can you tell me some information about liberty?
So, ayun, kay Stuart Mill sa nasabi dun na, kailangan natin ay paglaban yung kilos natin, ngunit kailangan, hindi tayo nakakasakit ng ibang tao. Yun yung sinasabi sa liberty.
Anyone? Yes, Miss Tiquil.
For me,
How about representative government?
Representative of government, ang pananaw po doon ni John Stuart Mill is hindi siya sang-ayon sa mga law at saka sa legislation. So, ang gusto niya is yung mga representative is sila yung maghahatid sa isang society.
Okay, very good. So, explain na naman ng lahat. Our class ends here. Thank you, guys.
Alam niyo ba yung president natin, sinumbong tayo sa advisor natin?
Wait! Ba't hindi ba siya namopya?
Namopya siya ba niya yun? Ewan siguro. Mga lawyer mo dito.
Bumagsak tayo yun.
Baka magalit sa atin.
Gawin mo yan. Saka hindi tayo bumagpit dahil sa ginawa niya. Kailangan ko lang siya dun
Yung dabit eh.
Patawagin kaya tayo. Sweet. Uy, tingin na lang dito. May kwento kami sa'yo. Bakit? Classmate natin, sumbong. Sino?
Yung president natin, sinumbong tayo sa advisor natin.
Bakit daw?
Wala daw tayo.
Pero pakilala ko din naman siya. Kaya pala one time narinig ko siya, kausap niya yung prof natin. Ha? Ano sinabi niya? Sinusumbong niya siguro tayo, siguro binabackstop tayo.
Ay, gali naman yung plano.
Kaya talaga yung mga tao walang magawa sa mundo.
baksak ko. Kasi nga may kasama kong iba. Kasi hindi naman nakita yan. Diyan, sa labas. Seryoso ka? Oo nga. Sabi, hindi ako nakakausap eh. Kasi nga, niloloko ka na eh.
Hoy! Anong ginagawa mo? Anong wala? Eh, nag-aaral ng tao dito eh. Tinuruan ko lang siya. Anong tinuruan? Eh, ginulong mo nga yung ginagawa mo.
Tinuruan ko siya. Tapos, marunong sila kapag
Ikaw, wala kang isip. Alam mong iba. Wala nang imig yung tao. Eh, ginagawa lang naman siya eh. Dapat hindi mo na lang tuloy.
Representative of government, ang panalok po doon ni John Stuart Mill is hindi siya sang-ayon sa mga law or at saka sa legislation. Yung mga representative is sila yung maghahatid sa isang society. Okay, very good.
Sige.
Ayon kay John Stuart Mill, ang liberty
This state may only interfere with people holding and expressing their views if those views cause harm to other people. And even then, it should only interfere if the
Cut!
Because utilitarianism is concerned with all of the consequences that result from an action. The good consequences must be measured up to the bad consequences. And if the good at A, then the person should pursue that action.
And his new interests quickly lead him to the work of Coleridge, Carlyle, and Cartier.
For John Stuart Mill, poetry is better than push beats. Bethams hold to be
Mill argued about the equal rights of women, not only as a liberal but also as utilitarianism.
May kwento ka na sa'yo. Ano yun?
Alam mo ba yung president natin sumumbol? Tayo.
Bakit? Nag-oopyahan tayo.
Inokopyahan naman siya.
Cut!
So, si Harriet Taylor, siya yung huge intellectual influence kay John Stuart Mill pagdating sa
John Stuart Mill on liberty. In his classic work, Mill sets out to investigate the nature